Hello, I'm Elisa Zhang, and I'm a physician as well as a life and money coach. Recently, I've started reading about Bitcoin as well as other cryptocurrencies just to kind of learn about this new avenue of investing. And it's been quite enlightening. I've learned quite a lot. And so I thought I might just share some of the things that I'm learning. And this can be really basic, but I'm sure a lot of people don't really know much about Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. And it's interesting some of the language that goes with it too. So fiat money is money that's government issued currency that's not backed by commodities such as gold. And so the US dollar, the euro, the Japanese yen, these are all considered fiat monies as opposed to digital currency. Digital currency can actually be traced back to David Chaum, who's a computer scientist who introduced eCash. And that was back in 1983. He actually started DigiCash in 1990, but that filed bankruptcy in 1998. Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, was published by Satoshi Nakamoto on a crypto mailing list on October 31st, 2008, so on Halloween. And this was recognized as the birth of Bitcoin. So that name, Satoshi Nakamoto, is it's considered a pseudonym. It's not a real person. So it may be one person, it may be a group of people. Really, no one knows who it is. And actually, if you just Google Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, you can actually find that article pretty easily online. So, and in that abstract, it really talks about creating this peer-to-peer version of electronic cash that can flow to allow online payments to be sent directly. And part of the idea was really to not have to involve financial institutions. It talked about how removing all the power of financial institutions away so that people could actually just go peer-to-peer. And if you think about all our electronic transfers of money, including like credit cards, wire transfers, those all rely on financial institutions as trusted third parties to process these electronic payments. And so the idea was to have something that was completely not like centralized, but having it kind of distributed throughout so that you would have this ledger system distributed across all these different, what they call nodes or different computer systems. And that way there can be like less fraud essentially. And each transaction would be not reversible. So there is a certain amount of fraud may be unavoidable, but the idea was to really decrease that and to give kind of financial institutions less power. And not have them have to be at the center of everything. So this is actually how like mining comes in, if you hear about mining for Bitcoin. So in the mining process, the computers are actually recording each transaction onto the ledger. And by doing that, they're solving some algorithm. And once like one computer kind of solves the algorithm, all the other computers verify that that's the transaction. And it's like solving a complicated math problem to verify the payment of goods and services within Bitcoin. So in the early days, these computers were just individuals and they, were distributed like across the world. But, over time, it's become more complex and more competitive so that's become kind of impractical for individuals to mine Bitcoin so easily. So nowadays, mining Bitcoin actually involves buying like really high powered computers with specialized digital components and like warehouses of these high-powered computers kind of constantly working to do these algorithms. And so Bitcoin specifically is actually requires a lot of energy to do that mining and all those ledger transactions. And it also makes it slow. So what was interesting that I learned is that Bitcoin itself could never be used for kind of daily transactions because the amount of energy and time it takes to do each transaction is just not fast enough to handle all the transactions that we like currently do with credit cards. I mean, certainly you could do twice large transactions with them or just, twice small transactions. It's not about the size, but it's limited to the point where it's not like we could all just start using Bitcoin instead of our current system, even though when we think about how we use money these days, it is very much an electronic system for the most part. I mean, people do still use cash, but a lot of people will end up just using credit cards and transfers to the bank. And even if you're writing a check, it's a transfer between banks. So, you can look at it as just still kind of electronic, even when you have a paper check. So you hold a Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies in a wallet, and there's 5 different types of wallets and 2 different types of categories. So there's hot storage and cold storage. Something that's on your desktop or mobile or web-based online wallets are considered hot storage wallets because they're always connected to the internet. Hardware and paper wallets are cold storage wallets that are not connected to the internet. And so therefore, they're actually a little bit more secure. And the interesting thing is that you end up actually still like purchasing different cryptocurrencies on crypto exchanges, which are essentially different types of financial institutions. So even though the original idea behind Bitcoin was to do a peer-to-peer transfer without having to need financial institutions, the way most cryptocurrency is still transferred does actually still require these exchanges, which still act as financial institutions. And so there has been fraud, there has been loss of cryptocurrency, including Bitcoin, and there has been stolen Bitcoin in the past. So all the things that they were kind of envisioning for Bitcoin hasn't necessarily come to be. In fact, now there are actually over 300 different exchanges of cryptocurrency. Right now, investing in cryptocurrency actually feels a lot like maybe investing in a startup or a company that's just beginning. Even though it's been quite some number of years and there has been strong growth, it's been very volatile in the different cryptocurrencies. And now there are hundreds of different cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is probably still the most well-known. Ethereum is also another cryptocurrency that is fairly well-known. And there's different flavors to different cryptocurrencies. Some can be mined, some can't be. They all kind of use blockchain technology, but they're all a little bit different. There's like Ripple cryptocurrency, Litecoin, Monero, Zcash, Dash, Clocoin. In my reading, there's like so many different ones that I have really actually never heard of. And so I've actually been looking at kind of other ways maybe that you can invest in cryptocurrency without directly buying cryptocurrency. And that might be investing in companies that kind of are associated or benefit from cryptocurrency. And that can actually be even investing in Microsoft because they have been using blockchain and cryptocurrency. Overstock.com actually now accepts cryptocurrency as payment. So that might be a way to be involved, or even investing in the kind of computers or electronic equipment that's used to mine cryptocurrency. That might be a consideration. But there really is a lot to learn about investing in cryptocurrency. And some people call it gambling, and I can see why it may be gambling. Like I said, it's very much kind of like investing in a company right at its start. And a lot of companies, in the beginning, they can have fast growth and you can make a lot of money, but a lot of companies also fold. And that can happen with cryptocurrency as well. I don't necessarily think Bitcoin is necessarily going to completely fold, but you could easily buy it at $50,000 and have that 50,000 go down to 16,000 per Bitcoin, very easily. So it is still very possible to kind of lose a lot of money with buying Bitcoin. Who knows where it's going to be 1 year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. I don't know if you can really say it's only going to go up, but I'm still kind of fascinated by all the cryptocurrency, and I'm still kind of learning more, but not quite ready to jump in quite yet. So I hope that was informational. I just thought it was something that I've been reading about and something I just wanted to kind of share. And I'd like to hear if anyone watching this video is also thinking about investing in cryptocurrency and how you're going about educating yourself and what your thoughts are about investing in cryptocurrency. So just a little different kind of video. If you'd like to reach out to me, you can do so on my website, growyourwealthymindset.com. Thanks for watching.